So you're wondering how to inspect a pool. It's really not that tough. Let's talk about it. Hey, I'm John with Home Inspection University Advanced. And it's really not that difficult to inspect a swimming pool if you have a good SOP. Number one, you've got to have a good SOP, a standard operating procedure where the things that you follow, a checklist if you will. That way you're much less likely to miss something and much more thorough and accurate with following a list. So really not that hard. A lot of people bring up the misconception that it raises too much liability. And I understand where you're coming from if you're unaware. If you are educated and you follow an SOP, it's really not that tough, and doesn't really expose you to much more liability than you're already doing with a home inspection. Now, there are a couple big things that you will have to be familiar with. One is going to be barrier systems. When somebody breaches the barrier, if it's broken, damaged, not there, and this is when people get hurt or some people drowned, and that's obviously not a good thing. It's going to be much more difficult for you and or your insurance company in a wrongful death suit if you were to miss something so simple and you're trying to hide behind a minimum state standard, if you will. This is really not that tough if you follow the SOP. Barrier systems is huge. The other big thing is going to be all things electrical. Okay, again, when somebody gets hurt or electrocuted, it's expensive to defend yourself at a minimum, okay? But it's not that tough. You're going to need to know all about GFCI, all about bonding, and we even get into some advanced stuff in the class that you can offer advanced testing type of things. The other thing would be equipment. We go through all of those kind of things in classes. You're going to need to know about all the components, but we have a very simple and easy, surefire way to evaluate all kinds of systems, whether they're simple or they're very complicated, step by step. Not that tough. The really good news is, as home inspectors, there's no chemicals. I can't even spell chemical, so we won't even have to worry about that part. Now, some of you might be living up north and thinking, well, we don't have many pools, I sub it out, we're only able to use them so many times a year, and I get it. If you come to class, I'll tell you the story about Fred. And Fred lives in a very northern state that has actually very few pools, and that is precisely why he is killing it up there. So, if you happen to be seeing this video prior to a class, we've got one coming up and we've got them pre-recorded. I encourage you to check them out. The link is right here below. Put that there and look forward to seeing you.